All right, the time now is 5:35, and I'd like to open the Board of Selectmen meeting for the town of Halifax for Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. We are in the Selectmen meeting room. Quick introductions here. We have Assistant Pam McSherry, Town Administrator Stephen Solbo, myself, Jonathan Seelig, Selectman Thomas Pratt, Selectman Bill Smith. Just like to read this announcement here. This meeting has been posted in accordance with the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20B, and pursuant to Chapter 30A, Section 20F. Notice is being made that this meeting is being recorded and will be posted on Area 58 Community Access Channel. Thanks to John. The board chair, which is myself, reasonably anticipates the following matters will be discussed and or voted on at this meeting, and the agenda items may be taken out of order for time management considerations. Guys, if you'll indulge me, how we start every meeting, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. So a small agenda tonight. Essentially, we'll be going through our annual town meeting warrant. That's the meat of it here, but we do have a couple of bills to pay. So when we think bills, we think Bill. There you go. You want to move these warrants and commitments for us, Bill?
Certainly. I move to affirm approval of the following warrants and commitments. Payroll warrant number 92 for $453,176.43. Vendor warrant number 93 for $79,590.40. Withholding warrant number 94 for $152,547.87. Mobile home park fee number 4 for $5,160.00.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous.
I move to approve the following warrant. School warrant number 95 for $372,911.15.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous. Guys, I'm just going to skip down to B really quick. Why don't we just bang out the approval of the Selectmen meeting minutes? Pam got those to us. I hope everyone's read them. So if so, I will entertain a motion to approve the Selectmen meeting minutes for March 10th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous. Okay, now we are here for the meat and potatoes of this meeting, which is to review and give the final approval of our annual town meeting warrant. So our warrant that you will get soon in the mail is a collection of articles that will be presented to the residents of Halifax at town meeting. It essentially is every resident's ability and right to help set the year forward as far as budget concerns, as far as some procedural things that we're going to be in front of you as residents. So, Stephen, I don't know how you'd like to go through this. You want to take one at a time, page by page? How are we going to attack this bad boy?
So first of all, thank you. And yes, I think the best way to go through it is like we did with the FinCom. I'll read through it briefly. You can stop me whenever once you understand. And then I had them basically talk about the article and then issue their recommendation if you'd like to do that. Obviously,
Sure.
you could have, a recommendation, no recommendation, or you will have a recommendation at town meeting as the FinCom does it. So if we want to get started here right on Article 1, we'll get moving and start reading through these articles and talk about them as we go. I do have one edit that I came across today.
Okay.
A lot to talk about.
We also have in attendance Mr. Jim Walters, who's the chair of the FinCom. So if we have any questions for Finance Committee, Mr.
Sure.
Walters is here to speak to that. So,
All right.
all right, let's do it.
So moving into the first page of the warrant, Article 1, to see if the town will vote to amend the wage and personnel bylaw as presented below and as recommended by the Board of Selectmen and Finance Committee, or take any other action relative thereto. 2% cost of living adjustment for all non-union positions effective July 1st, 2026 within the existing compensation classification plan. The background on that was the FinCom decided to put that up to 2% and then let town meeting sort of discuss it on the floor that night and decide what they want to do with that. We will have the numbers presentable at town meeting as far as what each percentage increase means, both 0, 1, and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And the majority of town employees, Stephen, are contract employees.
Correct.
So these...
Or union.
Yeah, or union, sorry.
Yes.
So these non-union positions, essentially, there's about...
14 in total.
14 folks we're talking about. Okay. Just so people are aware.
Yep.
It's a total of 14 people.
So do you guys want to issue a recommendation on that, or do you want to just leave it as is?
So I know in years past, we haven't done a selectman recommendation on these. It's been FinCom's.
Okay.
What does the board choose, what is the board feeling here? I'm fine with going through, guys, and giving our seal of approval on the different articles, if that's something the board wants to do. Or we can hold to tradition and just leave it as FinCom. I've seen it done both ways in different communities. So any thoughts, gentlemen, to whether we want to put our selectmen recommendation seal of approval on the warrant this year?
On each individual article?
Yep.
I could go for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If that's the case then, Article 1, 2% COLA for non-union positions. How does the board feel? Want to entertain a motion to support Article 1? Any more discussion needed? What do we think?
Just trying to think.
It's all right.
I feel a little bit more confident in one direction or another if we were more concrete on some of the union contracts we were voting on.
Yep.
If we had that number. Whereas, I know that's a multi-year contract.
Sure.
Maybe that looks like a certain picture year 1, year 2, year 3.
There's also the option, Tom, to say we could give our recommendation at the meeting, which would buy us another month for some of the things you're talking about to play out. So that's a possibility as well.
What did any offhand recommendation or remember what we had game last year? What?
I don't think we gave anything last year.
We didn't.
Yeah.
It just goes proposed by the
Okay.
selectmen,
Yeah.
and it's usually the recommended, yeah.
All right, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm looking for a motion.
Yeah, like for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimous 3-0.
But again, it has the ability to go to the floor at town meeting.
course, yeah.
modify
Oh,
that.
sure.
Yeah, this is just a guidance tool.
Everything presented at town meeting can go to the floor.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's going to say, the board of selectmen recommend.
Yeah.
Nothing in-
Yep.
exactly, okay.
That's what it's going to say.
Okay.
All right, Article 2, Stephen.
Yeah, just gotta jot these notes.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
So in Article 2, you'll see a slight change to the table that's typically presented. This was a change that the FinCom wanted reflected. And this is to see if the town will vote pursuant to Chapter 41, Section 108 of the general laws to determine salaries of several elective town officers July 1, 2026 to June 30, 2027, or take any other action relative thereto. In years past, you had a couple years of previous financial data. The FinCom decided that those previous years was not necessary, but having the most direct previous year was good for the public to, or the residents to be able to see. Then you see the 26-27 proposed number, what the 2% increase would actually be in dollars, what the stipends are associated with any of those specific positions. And again, those stipends of $1,000 are associated with certifications that the town clerk and treasurer collector both get, and then what the grand total is over here at the end. So that basically it spells it out very clearly for residents as you go through the table to figure out.
So is this, if I'm reading it right, are we backing off on not taking the salary of selectmen?
No, it's still there. See under the,
No, it's 15.
yeah, I don't understand.
Oh, yeah, so I'd have to take it off so that's.
Yeah,
I'll
same
take
with,
that 26,
same with the
27.
moderator, too. I'm confused with that wage as well, where it's 200 under the
Did he
24.
forego his salary?
He didn't forego his.
Okay, so the moderator stays, but the selectmen, each 1,500 should be zero in that line and zero
Zero.
in the stipend.
Yep.
And the 2% rather.
Yep.
So I carried the zeros, just I didn't put them in 26, 27. Thank you
Okay.
for that
We did it
catch.
in 25, 26.
25, 26 would stay, the rest of ours would be zero.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep. Looks in order here. Any discussion, guys? No? All right, if not, I'll entertain a motion for the Board of Selectmen to approve Article 2 as written,
So-
with the amendment
Yes.
to the selectman salary.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous.
All right.
All right,
Next article.
3A is the budget. This is the big one.
So 3A is specifically the cut budget, or the TA's proposed cuts, as I've sort of coded them or named them. Obviously, this is the budget that shows all the direct cuts. As you go through the budget, you'll see letters next to certain items on the far right column. So if you go down to line 13, you'll see A next to $23,275. A, if you read the bold underneath Town Administrator proposed budget, it says the letter designation A through J shown in this table correspond directly to the same letter items in the Town Administrator's recommended budget presented in 3A. This cross-referencing is intended to provide clarity and allow readers to identify where each supplemental allocation applies within the operating budget. So this ties 3A and 3B together, because then as you can see the table, as Jonathan has gone to under Article 3B, the table that is on that corresponds to those letters. So if you go down to the letter and you say to yourself, okay, A is accounting, $24,469. That applies to line 13, which is essentially the cutting of the position from full-time back to part-time. And then under the override would be allocated back to full-time with a successful override vote. Just want to make sure you're all clear on that, or it needs to be clearer or presented in a different way.
The only thing that is slightly confused, I guess it's just in that 15 and 15A. Because we're doing capital letters and small letters.
Yep.
And I know that can sometimes throw folks off.
Yep.
But it looks like it's only that.
Yeah, it's all capitals.
That
in the
one
table.
line right there.
The only line that might be confusing would be D. So item D, which is the police department. So I have lines 45 through 50 and 67.
Underline 51, guys.
1/18/10/433.
Yep. But that also, that basically takes into effect multiple lines in the police department. But it ends up being that 1,810,433, and then you have to go down one page further to animal control officer and expense,
What line is that?
which is
Tim?
line 67 as referenced in the table.
6, 7.
D again, yeah.
And then you have $7,000 shown as the recommended, and that is also D. So that was another cut that the police department made, because they took $25,000 off the ACO budget and left 7
Sure.
to remain with. And this is obviously something that we'll explain and we'll have an actual supplemental document that will be one cohesive document for this as well.
Sure. And we'll do it as in years past, where Bert will go through, group at a time.
Yep.
Ask if there are any holds, and then vote each
And we can explain.
department separately.
We can explain them explicitly as we go.
Yeah. Great. Jim, how's it look?
So far, so good.
All right, good.
So 3A obviously is the budget that's being cut. On this one, the FinCom did not, I had them as FinCom recommends on 3B, because that was their vote. When it comes to 3A, obviously we're trying to avoid that, so there was no recommendation made by the FinCom on that.
So you're looking for the selectmen to be in tow on that one?
On
or-
3B,
on
when we're
3B?
talking specifically about the override and supporting the override. That's essentially,
So they're making their support of the override known by
By their
just giving their recommendation on the
Yes.
3B budget.
3B, yeah.
Budget.
correct.
Okay. Okay. Thoughts on that, guys, on which budget we'd like to recommend?
3B.
3B? That's my 3B. Tom, any ideas? 3A, 3B?
Are we gonna dig in on 3B at all, or just, is that that's what we are?
Dig in. What do you mean? Help me
Well,
out.
3B is the 1.5, right?
Yeah.
Just as we listed it out previously?
Correct.
I mean, I guess I wish I was stronger from the start or had more support. I would have preferred to see separate overrides. I know that's not what we are at the moment, so I won't hold this up. But I know it can move to town floor.
That's Stephen on Tom's idea.
I think from a timing perspective, it's difficult.
Well, maybe it is now, but I've been on this for a month.
Yeah, no, I
And
understand
asked
that.
3 or 4 times too, so.
And we could technically still do that, and it can technically still be done that way on town meeting floor.
I'm okay with that. I don't want to.
But, I mean, special town meeting could also be called, and then we could definitely separate out the buckets if it fails.
No, I'm
for
okay.
sure.
I'm okay with it as printed. I just wanted it out there that,
Okay.
I tried.
Yeah? That's the beauty of this board, Tom, and I can speak for you and for Bill in that I know everything you guys bring to the table is what you think is the best for the town.
So that's going to say Board of Selectmen recommends for 3B?
For 3B, we have to take the vote.
Okay, yeah.
So I will entertain a motion for the Board of Selectmen to recommend 3B.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous.
I meant to say aye.
I haven't had a chance to watch the FinCom. I wasn't able to watch the FinCom. Are we allowed to talk about the FinCom vote on that from last night?
Sure.
Yeah?
Was that a unanimous vote
Yes.
on 3B?
Unanimous vote?
Yes, 7-0.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. All right, we're cooking with gas.
So-
Article 4.
Yeah, so Jim, I did add the bolded section to above and below.
Okay.
So it's on both sides, so hopefully folks will not miss it. That was just a point of reference from the FinCom meeting to clarify where I had added that bold section you see was originally placed just here, and then I moved it up to the in front of the other article as well, just for more clarification. It's verbatim exactly the same. So, Article 4, to see if the town will vote to amend Town of Halifax Town Bylaws, Section 23-3, subsection 5, authorize revolving funds to include one additional revolving fund as identified below or take any other action relative thereto. This is for EV charging revolving account. We have monies coming in from the level 3 chargers. This is to establish the account so that we can pay future software agreements or warranties or maintenance costs on the chargers themselves.
So as of right now, Stephen, it's coming to the general fund?
Yes, and
So we haven't set up, this is essentially to
Set up an account, yep.
for that.
Yep.
So pretty cut and dry, but I'll entertain a motion for the board to recommend Article 4.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Article 5.
Article 5, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate or transfer from available funds the sum of $100,000 to the reserve fund to cover extraordinary or unforeseen expenditures during FY 2027 in accordance with Chapter 40, Section 6 of Mass General Laws, and to transfer from available funds the sum of $50,000 to Water Department Reserve or take any other action relative thereto.
This is, from what I remember, this is an annual article that we do. It's the shoot fund. You know, it's always good to have a reserve fund to cover, as it says right here, extraordinary unforeseen circumstances. So, you know, traditionally 100,000 and 50,000 isn't a lot of money, but it's still
What's in the accounts? do you know?
something.
I can check that with Lindsay tomorrow.
But it doesn't hurt, in my opinion, to always, I know we're up against it this year, but to still kind of add to a little bit of a rainy day fund if we can swing it.
Case of emergency break glass.
Yeah. Thoughts on the board? We're good? Yeah? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to Board of Selectmen to approve Article 5.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous. Article 6.
So on the next set of articles, the FinCom, because they had no financial backing or status, these were obviously no recommendations, so these are the Government Study Committee questions. And the first one is to see if the town meeting will change the town clerk from an elected office to an appointed office. I think this board's very familiar with these articles, and
Yeah.
especially Tom.
Yeah.
And he can speak to them as far as, you know, the content. But as far as that's concerned, I think you guys can issue a recommendation on that if you'd
silly-
like, but I mean,
Silly question. We're technically the ones proposing them?
Yeah.
So doesn't that just assume that we support them?
Well, that was the same case with Article 1.
Yeah.
Article 1 we proposed.
Right. So I'm wondering with the ones that we're proposing, do we have to,
Would you not support something you're proposing?
Well, Article
that's what I don't know.
well, Article 2 was proposed by the Finance Committee and they recommended it. So if we're going to be consistent, we should
all right,
propose
yeah,
it.
oh yeah, no, I mean, I'm for all of them, but I just didn't know what.
My only question on 6, 7,
yep,
8,
yep,
I know we're not there yet, and 10.
okay.
Should the Finance Committee have made a recommendation, or would it have been prudent to do that where they do affect future wages and earnings, potentially?
They do, and I think that sort of almost came to the surface, but then I think the FinCom decided that that's more of a personnel matter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's wage and personnel
Yeah.
Okay.
when it comes to
I mean,
salary.
we know there's a financial impact because it's staff, so,
So the town clerk, the town treasurer collector, the highway superintendent would all fall under wage and personnel?
Or some other sort of contract, potentially, depending on how the
Okay.
BOS decided to effectively staff those positions moving on beyond
Okay.
elected.
All right.
I mean, I've read all these articles. I've followed the work that the Government Study Committee has done. I could not recommend these any more than I am ready to recommend. You know, it just makes, in my opinion, just makes sense. So I would gladly have the board recommend these.
I agree. I think
And
they
just
did
a
a great
note,
job.
the FinCom did them as a group.
Yep.
So they approved them as a group because they were all sort of uniform, so they approved them all as a group in one
So
vote.
we should just review them quickly then. So Article 6 was,
Article 6 was the town clerk.
Sure. Town clerk?
Moving from appointed to elected. Article 7 was the treasurer collector, moving from elected to appointed. Article 8 is the office of the highway surveyor, or called in Halifax as the highway department superintendent, from elected to appointed. Article 9 is the change of the executive board from Board of Selectmen to Select Board. And Article 10 is the water commissioners going from elected to appointed.
just remind me, when we vote here in a second, I can vote. I don't have to recuse or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
All right, any other discussion? If not, I will entertain a motion for the Board of Selectmen to approve Articles 6 through 10 for the upcoming town meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous.
And so those are all.
Those are-
Board of Selectmen recommends.
Yep, that's it.
Just so I know.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
I get this looking-
Article 11.
Article 9.
What is this one?
Article
Steve
11.
Littlefield.
Oh, this is the HERO Act, right?
This is the HERO Act, yep.
Yep.
So the HERO Act, the FinCom unanimously recommended this 7-0. So this is to see if the town of Halifax would vote to accept Mass General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 5, Clause 22I, which authorizes annual increase in the amount of the exemption granted under Mass General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 5, Clauses 22, 22A, 22B, 22C, 22E, 22F, by the percentage increase in the U.S. Department of Labor, Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index for the previous year as determined by the Commissioner of Revenue to be effective for the applicable exemptions granted for any fiscal year. Secondly, to see if the town of Halifax will accept Mass General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 5, Clause 22J, which authorizes the increase of the amount of the exemption granted under Mass General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 5, Clauses 22, 22A, 22B, 22C, 22E, 22F by 100%, or any other increase approved by town meeting of the personal exemption amount, subject to the conditions in Clause 22J to be effective for applicable exemptions granted for any fiscal year beginning on or after July 1, 2026, or take any other action relative thereto. Proposed by the Board of Selectmen on behalf of the Veterans Officer.
So my question to this is, I don't know if Steve was able to provide, or if Jim, if the FinCom had any idea as to if we have a generous amount of folks eligible for this program, what our number.
So the financial,
On the chart?
yeah, I didn't have the chart. I do have the chart in my office, but there's a
Okay.
chart with the, that Caroline from the assessor's office put together that shows the minimum contribution of change. So the vote that the FinCom made approves an annual obligation of $64,000 to the town.
Okay.
That would be extended above what it was for this year for exemption ability. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that that obligation will come forth, because the numbers can fluctuate over the course of the year. So it may not be 64,000, it may be less. So it is classified, each category, each 22, 22A, 22B, 22C, 22E, 22F.
Yep.
Those are different classifications, and there's different residents that qualify for each one of those
different
different
ones.
categories.
Sure.
Each of those categories are also worth a different dollar amount as far as what they receive as a benefit. And then, like I said, the additional charge would be about $65,000 annually, but we don't know what that full amount would be. It could be less than that.
Okay, so you're telling me 65 is kind of the cap? Would you say the max?
That's the cap.
Anything over that would have to be done through a separate appropriation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any discussion from the board at all on this one?
No.
All right. Seeing none?
Well, yeah, listen, I
Yeah.
obviously want to support the veterans.
Yeah.
Just on the, circling back to 3A and 3B, it's a little bit of a look.
So there's also, I mean, there's also the issue of whether we want to go 100%. I mean, we can set the percent as whatever.
I'm okay.
Town.
I'm okay with personally putting my name on voting yes for this.
Okay.
It should be recognized that I think that there are some who are going to,
Object.
Yeah.
who will say, hey, listen,
And that's, and I think
it's a
there-
little bit of a juxtaposition of position when we're asking on one thing and then giving on the other. So I just want to.
And I don't want to speak for Steve Littlefield, but I think there is the acknowledgement that while they are presenting the 100% funding, that they very well might not get the 100% at town meeting. You know, it might be edited on the fly at town meeting. So there's that, facet to it as well.
And in the meantime, if this is something you guys want to take a look at and then view it with town meeting, I can provide those data for you like today.
No, I'm okay with it.
I'll give it to you
I'm
anyways,
okay with it
the
where it
data.
stands. I just, I think it's worth noting
In the bigger picture, yeah.
Yeah.
in the 21 articles here, there's these two, there are two that are flying in the face a little bit.
Yep.
Will we have access, is that chart public knowledge? Is that chart for the public consumption?
I mean, you could probably figure out the numbers by doing enough public records requests that, yeah, I would make it. I mean, it's simple Excel. It just shows the number. It doesn't have any confidential information. It's just essentially public
And
information.
that's
that is-
broken down, Stephen, as the different.
As the different,
Percentages?
Or whatever.
yes, as Jim
Yeah.
saw, it's broken down by like 25, 50, 75, and 100%.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's based on FY 2025, so you can see the obligations and how they're broken down.
And
And
just a quick formality question, 22A, B, C, E, F, we skipped D. I'm obviously guessing that's not a mistake. Is it that we don't have any classifications under that code?
yeah, I mean, this is verbatim through what Steve sent us. So we'll double check for
Yeah.
the presence of 22D.
Before we print them all.
Well, it says it twice, so I'm guessing it's correct. I'm just wondering if it's
Yeah.
intentionally omitted.
Yeah, it could be.
That we don't have any, or could we have them down the line? I know
Right.
that's a.
Or it
year by
could be
year
right
thing,
on
but
there and I just missed it.
Just double check.
Yep,
No, that's
I will
good.
double check.
Good double check.
Yep.
Okay, that said, I guess I'll entertain a motion to approve Article 11 for the Board of Selectmen.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Passes unanimous. All right. Article 12 is the solicitation and canvassing bylaw.
Yes.
So on this one, on that one, it's gonna say Board of Selectmen recommend on behalf of the Veterans Agent, how are we gonna?
I think we can just do Board of Selectmen.
Just another separate line, Pam.
Was another separate line?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll help you edit it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
We're just gonna add separate lines to everything.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, so I'm sure you guys have had a chance to read through this.
Yes.
As distributed by Chief Jobs. The Finance Committee made no recommendation because it doesn't particularly have a financial impact. So,
My only question, did we know, I think you brought up a good question. Did we ever get to the bottom of whether or not it's allowed legally to just completely ban door-to-door soliciting?
so there is an exceptions, we had the chief on during the FinCom, and I believe someone did ask that very question.
Yep.
And if you look to section 4B,
4B as in boy?
yep, exceptions.
Yep.
So then you have registration shall not be required for officers or employees of the town, county, state, or federal governments. Should not be required for minors. Soliciting on behalf of a for-profit organization, newspaper carriers. The next one
Girl Scout
is,
cookies.
essentially, the next one is religious, political, newspaper distribution, non-commercial, and other non-commercial purposes, regardless of what other such activities includes acts that would otherwise constitute soliciting or canvassing. So there are a lot of exceptions there that would cover probably a lot of the reasons why people would be soliciting or canvassing.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to be able to come into town and still be able to solicit or canvass because they'll probably qualify for one of these exceptions or groups. I mean, I understand the miners one, I understand,
The town and county
yeah,
stuff.
town employees, federal employees, state employees.
What about candidates seeking reelection?
Well, here
Getting
under,
papers signed?
Can't censor political.
Yeah, no political.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
So that would be unaffected.
Yep.
yeah. So that's in section 3 here, nothing in this soliciting or canvassing bylaw should be construed to impose any registration
Political
requirement,
or-
otherwise restrict or in any way regulate any activity for religious, political, newspaper distribution, or public
Yeah.
policy purposes, or other non-commercial purposes.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, hey, I mean, I think it's at least a really good start. You know, let's start here and see how we do. So, any other discussion, guys, on this one?
Nope.
No? All right, seeing none, I will entertain a motion to have the Board of Selectmen approve Article 12 for town meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous. All right, flipping over to Article, lucky number 13.
Article 13, which concerns all the various revolving funds. See if the town will vote to fix the maximum amount that may be spent during fiscal year 2027, beginning on July 1, 2026, for revolving funds established by in-town bylaws, section 23-3, for certain departments, boards, committees, agencies, or officers in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, chapter 44, section 53E, 1/2, or take any other action relative thereto. The only question I had on this was, again, I had asked the FinCom about it, when we get down to the school committee at the end where we have those $100,000 caps down there.
Yeah, I think that's too low.
And I think at least having the conversation, and they were having the conversation at their most recent school committee meeting about wanting to investigate that, and I think these caps might restrict them. I know that it's probably another 2 years out, or another year plus out before they even entertain that, but do you make the move on the cap this year, or do you wait till next year and see what they're actually going to do?
Well, I know at one of the last school committee meeting I was at, they did a synopsis where, pardon me, where if everything clicked on all cylinders and they hit everything just right, that if they did charge full day kindergarten, it could bring in $200,000. So I would hate as a town for us to cap that at $100,000. It just makes sense to me to bump that limit up, in my opinion. I don't know if that necessitates a vote of the school committee for them to, or is
Yeah, I don't
that
know, I can ask that.
or is that a town vote?
Because I remember we were actually, and since then I've been asking them, you know, have you thought any about these two numbers? And I haven't gotten really a response back,
Okay.
so.
What is a concession stand? I know in theory what it is, but what is it here? For $10,000 under the Board of Selectmen?
I believe it's the concession stand down at the ball fields.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The, for baseball, it's not really softball, because softball's in a different location, but they have that,
And why would we have
Concession stand.
any spending on that? Electric?
yeah, electric, I guess, water.
Actually, the electric bill is usually paid from the baseball.
Yeah.
They're still getting money from that, the credits that we have from Brockton.
Okay.
And they're, it's usually $20, $30, maybe during the season,
Okay.
you know, but off seasons, it's very low.
Should I ask Dick Steele?
They haven't, would you say that be anything being fixed down there, like let's say the dugouts need to be fixed or
It
something?
usually comes out of the sport.
Yeah, usually out of their own, the league.
That's fine.
That's a good question.
And then just a quick question. I guess we'd be careful here. On the fourth one down,
1, 2, 3, 4,
Earth removal review.
does that include litigation costs?
I believe it's if we want somebody to come in and look at any sort of earth removal operation.
Okay, so it's not
It's not.
Current
It's not
litigation.
litigation, because
Current-
that's a separate legal
current,
budget.
that's-
That's if we want to bring in
Just wanna
an
make sure.
independent, engineer. or
Separate
something.
from current or future litigation regarding earth removal?
Correct.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
sorry.
oh, it's okay.
No, it's okay.
No question's a bad one.
Yeah, I need to understand these accounts too, where they originated from.
Anything else, guys, on 13? Are we comfortable with taking a vote?
I'm okay.
I'm
Okay.
okay. Yep.
All right, I'll entertain a motion for the Board of Selectmen to approve Article 13.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous. Article 14, capital plan.
So, yes, so funding of the FY27 capital plan. To see if the town will vote to fund the recommendation of the capital planning committee, even though we really didn't have one for the fiscal year 2027 capital plan, and you'll see why. and fund from the following. So the $19,300 from free cash is for
bless you.
the assessing department to do their certification, which is a compliance, recertification, which is a compliance issue, and that's necessary. Other than that, I have stripped out everything except for the water retained earnings related capital items, and I do need to make a change there. So you guys are familiar with the ban that was issued, the short-term financing for the water treatment plant, correct? So in learning about the ban, and I'll have it on the agenda for the April 14th meeting because we need to finalize it to go to bond council on the April 28th meeting. What I need to do with Bill Rowe and Lindsay tomorrow is figure out the dollar amount to pay towards the principal in order to roll over to next year in the ban.
Okay.
I will figure that out tomorrow. Now, that number could be, it's not going to be the 52,000 you're seeing here, because that's the interest. That was budgeted for already as part of last year. So that line is in the water department. It's actually 60K in the water department, and that takes care of the interest associated with the rollover on the ban. Now we have to figure out what portion of water retained earnings we will put towards principal, because ideally, we want to be done with this debt in the next 2 years.
2 years, right?
So I'm sitting with Bill tomorrow to structure the debt payoff plan, and hopefully it will be 500,000 this year, 500,000 next year. If it's not, it could be more in the neighborhood of 250, 400, 300, but it's going to be the ban rolling over to fund this,
And
and
there's-
water retained earnings.
And there's plenty of funding in retained earnings for water. to
Right
cover.
now, we estimate about 790K.
Okay.
But that doesn't necessarily include the 300 they have on for the books for the filter replacement this year.
Okay.
So that's where I have to do the navigation with Bill Rowe in the morning to figure out which amount to put towards principal tomorrow, so we can get that number knocked down, so the interest is lower, and obviously the principal's lower, so we can get closer to paying it off.
Gotcha.
Did the FinCom know that last night when they voted that?
No. they
See, I
didn't.
think, I don't think I want to put anything on there that we recommend anything with if the number's going to change.
Without a number, right, yeah.
So I would,
Do we want to wait, make that one a at meeting?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I got a question. This is the only capital we're doing?
For right now,
For
we're
now.
going to do a special town meeting to address the rest of the capital items.
And when's that going to happen?
Probably end of the summer, early fall.
So I think the idea, Stephen, not to speak for you, is that it's hard to, based on, whether the override passes, whether it doesn't, how much we're going to have set aside for capital stuff. Do we want to invest in certain capital items, not knowing the status of our employment, as far as having employees to operate machinery, as far, different things. So I agree with Stephen in that it doesn't necessarily make sense to make these expenditures until we've seen the dust settle from whether or not the override goes or doesn't go.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But where the police department only got one cruiser last year, and now you're putting off this to the fall, the lead time of getting a cruiser is a year. So now he's going to be a whole another year
Without,
without a new cruiser, and
Right.
the repair costs are going to skyrocket up for him without having new vehicles, because it's a year process to get a new car. So if you wait till the fall to go to town meeting, get it, you're talking next summer he's going to get the car probably, which is puts him way behind. It's just, I mean,
so Bill, you're looking at you'd like to add a cruiser to it.
yeah, it's just, repair costs are going to skyrocket. I mean,
Yeah.
drop a transmission, $8,000
I
easy.
mean, is it something that, this has already gotten the blessing of the FinCom,
But the number changed.
right? But the number did change.
Well, only water retained earnings, which is, you can't,
Yeah, right.
you can't do anything else with water
And
retained earnings besides
recertification, which we
water.
have to do.
So don't be, the 52,000 is coming off, but that number literally is to pay off debt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only coming out of water retained earnings.
So,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
so just to Bill's point, if we left as is, made our recommendation at town meeting, wanting that final number could change. If Bill or a citizen brought up on the town floor to add to this article, the appropriation of a cruiser at this town meeting, rather than wait for the special, is that an option?
I guess technically, yeah, I'd have to verify, but
Rules.
Right, so, if we can amend Article 3B's budget to break down the override of
Yeah.
1.5 and pick and choose that number, then we probably are similarly okay.
Right. Oh,
absolutely.
Add or subtract.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I just don't want to, I don't want to leave him short, you know?
Yeah, and I just wanted to,
Just be aware, the capital planning committee has not met this year.
yeah.
Has not met.
What, can I ask why?
Scheduling, I guess.
Yeah.
So we were working, you know, we have
a list.
Okay.
We have a list.
There's a request, there's a list of requests.
We have a list of
Yeah, well, that's,
But
they
they
have to
meet-
give us that.
They need
right?
to hunt and peck through the list to see
Right,
what
we
the town
haven't
wants to
really,
do.
so the capital planning committee hasn't met, so that's probably just more timing.
Okay.
No new town administrators.
Sure,
Right?
sure.
Fennessy was just kind of like rubber stamping stuff as he was here.
Yep.
So we haven't had, the capital planning committee hasn't had a chance to review it, discuss it, and talk to the department heads. Now, department heads have to every year give us their operational budget, right? Their capital requests and any revenue estimates. Those are the three things they have to give us annually. And that's governed by, I don't know, Article 44 somewhere, one of those sections. So we haven't had a chance to discuss this with anybody, capital planning wise. The FinCom asked, at the outset, there was monies in there for the highway department, and we just said we need to take that out. Because if nobody's getting anything, we can't put anything in there for one department, and just out of a sense of equity and fairness. So we left the recertification in because we need to do that. But again, town meeting rules, if somebody makes a motion to allocate whatever, you know, bear in mind, the money's got to come from somewhere.
Sure.
Right?
And are we
There's just
certi-
not money sitting out.
Are we certified yet?
Got an email today that Martin is working on it in their office.
I checked DLS and it's not even there.
I know, Jim, I literally got an email
Yeah.
today that said that Martin is hopefully gonna have it by
It'd be
tonight.
nice to know what free cash number we have so we can make these decisions.
Yep.
So let me ask you this, on this expense sheet for the accessors, last year we voted 29.5. If 19.3 is here, why is it on this budget here?
That was,
I know you
the,
weren't here, but why wasn't it voted into last year's budget if it needed to be done?
Is this an annual thing or is this a different?
this is not an annual thing. This is a recertification that comes up every, I'll have to verify.
3, 5, 7 years.
3, 5, or 7 years.
Right, but we probably should have been budgeted for last year if we knew it was coming here, rather than appropriate the money out of free cash.
That would have been in town administrator duty?
No, I understand that. I'm not casting stones, I'm just asking.
I understand.
Yeah, no, I understand too, yeah.
If we're asking
When I'm
for-
looking
if
at
we only- If we budgeted
19,000,
30 and 20 of it was here, then they were,
when I'm looking at a
60%
total,
short.
when I'm looking at a total of 19,300, I'm like, why is this the 100% necessary item on the capital plan?
if it's required, it's required. I'm
No, but I'm
wondering why it wasn't accounted for.
But to your point, Tom, I agree 100% why it wasn't just simply budgeted into an expense line in
All right.
the department.
So on this, our Article 14, guys, do we want to have a recommendation made at meeting?
Yeah.
You okay with that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to have the Board of Selectmen give their recommendation at the town meeting for Article 14.
So moved.
So second.
All those in favor, aye. Opposed, passes
Aye.
unanimous. Okay. All right, Article 15, one of the Troy Garrett articles.
Yeah, we should be able to move through the next few pretty
Yeah.
quickly. So this is the article that pertains to the monies that are spent to help folks with elders, low-income families, and their children, including those in the town of Halifax or any other action relative thereto. The Finance Committee recommended, and I am looking into what the status of that account is because they wanted to know if anyone's actually using it.
Correct.
I did get some, so for that one, I do have, they give me a quarterly report.
Okay.
So I have that one, but
Okay.
as for the other one, for the 3,500, I'd have to ask them for that because they don't send it to their.
So you're saying legal services, Pam, you have documentation that shows that Halifax residents use it?
It's the
Okay.
last, I got the last quarter.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion for the board to recommend Article 15.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimous. 16 is unpaid bills.
Yes, so I did take some suggestions from the FinCom and change the language here because it was worded differently when I presented it to them on Monday night. So this will be to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate and transfer from available funds a sum of money to pay any unpaid bills running to the town or schools for unpaid bills received during the current fiscal year 2026 or take any other action relative thereto. It was very vague before and I think I doubled up unpaid bills in there. So it's still poorly worded.
We have no idea what the amount is?
No, we will have an updated amount at town meeting. We will know what the amount is.
You guys want to hold off and wait till the meeting then? Or, I mean, essentially.
Well, bills are bills.
Bills, they gotta be
You
paid.
gotta pay.
Well, our issue was time.
Yeah.
So there wasn't
And I
a
agree.
cap on it. So, as an example, the state of Massachusetts gives you 6 weeks from the end of their fiscal year to bill them for whatever services you did for the previous year. Anything after 6 weeks, it's not getting paid.
Right.
Right? Ours says nothing. So I could find a bill on my desk from 2 years ago and say, you guys need to pay this. Or I could do some work in January or in June and then wait till the end of the next fiscal year because we passed this article and bill you for something that happened 24 months ago.
Sure.
So it needs to be, in my opinion, it needs to be capitated. That's just business. That's just smart business.
Right,
Sure.
With a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you got 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. That's a policy decision. So it's not really a warrant article. It's more of a financial policy decision, which the FinCom will undertake here in very short order.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And I agree with the FinCom sentiment 100%, because we don't like bills that sit on tables or people's desks and.
We're not trying to short any
No,
vendors.
yeah.
No.
No.
And even Lindsay said, as an accountant, she would like to see the bills when they show up.
Sure.
Because we're getting bills from various departments that are 3 or 4 months, after they showed up in town hall or at the school department or at the.
Right. That's more of an internal thing, not a
Yeah.
vendor to customer.
Right,
Yeah, we're getting it, just not
Yeah.
all the way up.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so I think if we take out, so you say town or schools, take out that 4 unpaid bills?
Yeah.
You know what reads better if you take out that 4 unpaid bills section?
Yes, which paying any unpaid bills under the town's, yeah.
So take out that second 4
Yeah.
unpaid bills, it just reads better. I'll entertain a motion for the board to approve Article 16.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, passes unanimous.
And that also, just to add a note there, that was the article that effectively eliminated the need for special town meeting, because that was the only item on special town meeting. And after consulting with town council, the rationale was during a special town meeting, you need 9/10 of a vote. And during annual town meeting, you only need 4/5. So the line to get is easier to achieve. And when you're talking about bills, we can explain it away simply as if you vote this down, then we will actively be sued by other council and vendors will come get their money. So that's the rationale behind it.
So Article 17, you're saying, Pam, that we gotta wait a little bit to get more information on
I can get.
whether or not the
I can
Who's
get
using
that.
it? Yeah.
Halifax folks are using it? That's for the domestic abuse?
Yeah, no, I was.
One or the other, we get, I can't remember because they're both out there.
Sure.
I'd be okay on this one, making an exception to my general rule about wanting more information. If we're making 3,500 available to citizens for domestic violence intervention, I don't need to see who's using it.
You're okay just
I would
to-
argue, to make it available to all.
Yeah.
To all people, non-Halifax residents included?
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I don't want to speak for it, but
Yeah.
I'm okay.
No, I know.
I'm
I
okay
get
with
it.
that too.
A lot of this money's used like,
Even if it's, I want it to be, I like to be available for everybody.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve Article 17.
So moved.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous.
So Article 18
Article
is
18 is 4-H.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty simple, guys. For the huge sum of $150, it essentially puts Halifax as part of the county cooperative extension service. Makes them eligible, so entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimous. Stephen, Article 19.
Article 19, so this is the PFAS article, so we have back-to-back PFAS articles here. You'll see them here and how they relate. So to see if the town will vote to, pursuant to MGL Chapter 40, Section 5B, to establish a stabilization fund to be called the PFAS Settlement Stabilization Fund for multi-district litigation against manufacturers of per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS. Basically, this is the article that establishes the account because we have been receiving monies in to the general fund. Now we need a place to go put those monies so that we can spend them according to the statutes that control them. So this creates the fund.
My only question is, in order the ping pong balls, does 19 have to come before 20?
They don't have to be tied together necessarily.
Okay.
They can stand independently.
So what happens if Article 20 comes up first and we vote to approve the transfer of the money, and then Article 19?
Yeah, so what we've done in the past, guys, is if 19 or 20 gets pulled, You do them 19, then 20.
Right.
They do have to be on.
Okay, so we'll.
Yeah.
Can I ask a
They have
question,
to-
Jim? You guys didn't recommend, or?
We wanted more information.
Okay.
And we'll make a decision at town meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was mainly about the wording.
Yeah.
And I did add a word at the end. You'll see there had, Frank Johnston had questioned the use of the funds as far as being only applied to drinking water. And then I changed it, the last sentence I included with applicable environmental to capture not just drinking water, but also any environmental PFAS
Well, that
issues.
wasn't just the only objection. Because we felt that it just being under the guidance and of the water commissioners.
Well, that's what the settlement comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were thinking it should be in collaboration with perhaps the board in order to direct the monies, because it's a fairly substantial sum of money that is going to be set to this specific board to spend on this specific issue. And if this specific board spends it on something else, it's not following this specific issue. And there is no oversight.
Are you guys okay if we punt on this and make it at the meeting? Just so
Yes.
it gives us more time to do some more digging?
That's fine, but I do think we should tie in 19 and 20.
Yeah, they've got to be tied in.
Yeah, so we'll tie 19 and 20 together.
They've got to be. And I know we've done that in past meetings, so that's okay.
So basically, if 20's pulled, we go 19, then 20.
Correct.
If 19 goes, we can put
19.
it back. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I will do is I will look into the statute as far as who controls this money, because I think
Okay.
that's what it boils down to.
Controlling it and spending it, two different things.
It will say in the settlement.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to have the Board of Selectmen make their recommendation available at town meeting for Articles 19 and 20.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous. We're down to Article 21.
Yes, and this one was one we've talked about before, so
Yes.
this would apply to basically if we had any like breweries in town.
Yeah.
So on-premise changing of alcohol, beer and wine to all alcohol as a local authority versus the typical going to the ABCC with other types of situations like this.
That's the one we just talked about that last public hearing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Any discussion from the board? I'm okay with this one.
Nope, I'm good.
Yep.
I'll entertain a motion to have the board approve Article 21.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimous. Article 22.
So Article 22 is the citizens petition regarding soil reuse, and declaring certain aspects of certain businesses in town nuisance trades. There's a lot in this.
Has legal weighed in yet?
Yes, I do have that for you guys to review. So,
There's a lot here, guys. I don't know if you guys have kind of read through it yet or need more time with it. And again, we do have, our council has looked into this and made their opinion known.
I'd like to probably review that before weighing in.
Yeah.
So you guys want to do it at the meeting?
I'm just concerned, my biggest concern is, we got a landfill that's gotta be fixed. And we start limiting how we're gonna fix it, it's gonna cost us more money.
Yeah.
And more money.
It's going to take some options off the
I
table.
mean, if you go to the side of it, it's all eroding on the side, it's coming down into the water, it's gotta be stopped,
Yeah.
so.
Well, we could take a vote here to not support Article 22.
We're
as
still
well.
waiting for the report from,
From Ty and Ball.
Ty and
it
Bond.
was just signed, so they'll be out there very soon.
Okay,
So,
so, yeah.
So to that point, I don't think we can, and I'm speaking for myself, guys, I don't think we can yay or nay this because we have the tithe and bond thing still waiting to come in.
Right.
To give us an independent look
Right.
at the project we're talking about here.
Which
Yeah.
is not gonna be done before town meeting.
Thoughts, Stephen?
I can check in with that. I'll verify.
Nice if it
I
could be.
expect the turnaround, so the contract was it was just signed. I know the operator is very open to having them on site as soon as possible. So I imagine they'll be out there within the next week or so. I mean, I know we've got like 5 weeks, 6 weeks left to town meeting, so it's gonna be tight, but we'll
Yeah.
definitely know more information before town meeting.
I think that in conjunction with the legal review, I'd be fine with.
Yeah.
I mean,
Make it at the meeting?
that would be, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Give us more, because there's a couple of different balls in the air, so to kind of come down on one side or the other right now might seem a little premature. So I'll make a motion for the Board of Selectmen, or I'll entertain a motion, sorry guys, to have the Board of Selectmen make their recommendation known at town meeting for Article 22.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, passes unanimous. Nice, small, concise warrant. There you go.
You guys saw the ballot
22.
questions there.
Ballot questions, we don't get into that.
This is
Nope.
just the election warrant.
Yeah.
We were able to do it in one so that we don't have to create a separate election
Yeah,
warrant.
yeah, we don't have to give our blessing on Article 20.
We don't have to give Sue more work to do.
Did we ever I mean, this is probably not why we're here, I know Jonathan, but did we ever establish, it's Halifax Elementary School, there was no need to, other venues, we discussed another venue?
Yeah, it's how,
Yeah.
we actually
The
are,
meeting tomorrow.
we're having a meeting tomorrow morning to start
Logistics.
planning, logistics, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's our over-under? How many folks are showing up
I'd say
on Monday, May 11th?
Close to 5.
500?
300.
Take the over.
I'm going the under.
I'll split the difference, I'll go 4.
I'll take the over.
278.
Oh, come on.
The price is right.
All right, anything else, guys?
Pam, give a quote.
Pam, what do you got?
522.
Ooh.
I'll co-sign Pam, I like that.
You should have said, I'll go with 1 and 1.
Yeah. Is there $1?
Oh, that would make it better. I got the wrong numbers. Oh, I thought you asked for the numbers.
All right, anything else on the board
Who's ever-
before I ask for a motion to adjourn? Everybody good? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Meeting is adjourned at 6:32.
Spaced out a bit.
Thank you very much, guys.